Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's podcast. It's a beautiful day in Southern California, a little hot. And wherever you are this morning, I hope your coffee is hot and your commute is brief. Welcome. Welcome to the show. I'm Yvette Spillman, NRI Wealth Architects. And I'd like to just, first of all, start out the gate by saying, it's been an incredible few months as we get prepared for our Sonic Boom Summit at Pechanga Resort and Casino, again here in Southern California in Temecula. So if you haven't gone online, I strongly encourage you, just bebop right on over to the website, www.sonicboomsummit.com, and read about all that is going to be offered at the summit. We've got some amazing celebrity guests coming. Not Brad Pitt. I actually would have invited Hugh Jackman if I could have. My husband knows if Hugh Jackman shows up, just disappear. But he told me, yeah, and if Angelina Jolie shows up, you better get out of here. No, I'm just kidding. He never said that. But one of the cool things that is happening at the summit that hasn't happened anywhere else, as far as I know, at a meeting like this, is we're actually going to be working with business owners, investors, and no, this is terrible because I have no idea what I want to say. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful and hot day in Southern California, wherever you're joining us from. I hope your coffee is hot and your commute to work is short. So good morning. Just taking a few minutes this morning to really go into some details on a very special event coming up here September 28th, 29th, and 30th, 2026, here in Temecula, Southern California. It's called the Sonic Boom Summit. Sonic Boom Summit. Here at NRI, our agency, NRI Wealth Architects, we're hosting it. We're welcoming in some amazing heavy hitter speakers, just titans in the industry. And we really are highly recommending that if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or investor, that you do all you can to make it to this incredible summit. Now, let's just talk about it for a few minutes. Am I the host of the summit? And that's why I'm saying it's incredible. And, we want you to come and sit with us for a few days and just be bored out of your mind and take some really great notes and put them in a really fancy notebook that you never really benefit from ever again. You come home, the notes go on the shelf, right? Yeah, I'm so busy. Oh, that was a great summit. There was great material. I had a wonderful time, met a lot of people, did some networking. I'll keep in touch with one or two of those folks. And I'll try to get back there again next year. But, I'm busy. I'm running a business. I'm going to try to implement those things when I have some time. Isn't that what happens at most of the summits and seminars that we go to? And it's sad because sometimes we really do get great information, but it doesn't go very far after the summit or seminar, right? Again, it sits in that nice notebook on the shelf. So what is different about this summit that we haven't experienced as summit attendees before? Well, the first thing, my friends, is implementation. So when you come, and we're going to talk about what you'll be learning in just a moment, but when you're an attendee at our summit, Sonic Boom, it's going to be not only just this architecture, if you will, for lack of a better word, but this building of education in layers and creating this wonderful ecosystem or architectured structure for you and for your business that's tax savvy. So you'll get this great education. But then, like I said, is it all just stuff that goes in your notebook? And when you leave, good luck? Well, no. We are actually going to take you by the hand and we're going to implement the information to guarantee your success. So how does this work? Well, let's go over first what the summit will be covering. So in our first day, Monday, we're going to go over what's wrong. What are we all facing? What are the pains, right? We know them. Maybe there's some that others are experiencing that we're not. Maybe we're new, maybe we're seasoned and we've heard it all, but we'll review what we're doing now so that we can understand what's actually being done incorrectly when it comes to filing taxes and having a correct business structure. So, for example, at tax time or thereabouts, or even throughout the whole year, as a business owner, entrepreneur, are we looking for every possible deduction, right? Is this mouse a deduction? I bought some Post-its. My part of my cell phone, is that a deduction? How about this internet service? Hey, I'm working out of my home office. How much of that can I deduct this year? We bought a truck. Um, and on it goes. Inventory for the business, obviously, if there is some. A lot of people are service providers, and it's even harder for them to find deductions. Shoes. I had to buy shoes for work. Can I deduct these? And on it goes. We're playing what I like to call the deduction game. Been there, done it year over year. And really, it's like taking $1 and exchanging it for 30 cents. It doesn't really make sense at the end of the day when we think about it, because all these deductions that we write down and try to use to reduce our tax bill can help us, but they're not helping us enough. It's not a dollar for dollar exchange. In other words, if I paid $20 for this mouse, I don't get a $20 tax deduction or credit for this mouse, right? I get a fraction of that. So what is really the problem? Okay, we do need these deductions, but the problem is we start lining them all up, and then the goal is what? The goal that we feel with the deduction game is to make our work income, our net revenue, or our gross revenue actually, look as small as possible so that we pay less tax on that amount. And then what happens? What's the fallout of that? Well, the first thing, of course, is that we look bad on paper. We might have made, say, for example, $300,000. By the time we're done deducting everything, maybe it looks like we only made $100,000. And then how do we get a loan if we want to expand our business, or if we even want just an investor, not even a bank, to come along and say, hey, I like what you're building here. Yeah, I'm going to help you. I want in. Oh, wait a minute. You only made $97,000? Okay, pass. Right? And the bank obviously says the same. But let's carry this forward in time. What's the real problem? Maybe you don't even need a bank loan. What's the real problem? The real problem is we've shot ourselves in the foot when it comes to sellability of our business. How will we sell a business that we've designed to look like garbage on paper every year, right? We don't get to show our true profits. And it's a terrible, terrible game, because what happens? We have two choices. Either A, play the deduction game, look bad on paper, don't be lendable, and eventually don't be sellable, no exit strategy, but reduce these annual tax nightmares, these tax bills that can consume us. Or what? Look great on paper and pay a hefty tax bill, maybe more than we can even afford. So, are those the only two choices? That's the question. Is this A, the deduction game, the answer? It doesn't feel like it, right? Or B, is this over here, look great on paper, show our profits, and burn up 40% or more of what we earned in taxes? Those are two really awful choices. I'm sure every business owner out there agrees with me. So, how do we fix it? What's the answer? And that is what we're going to cover at the summit. We're going to show you how to build a tax savvy ecosystem for your business that is neither of those choices. It's actually how the wealthy file their taxes. Do you all remember it was the presidential debate between Hillary Clinton and President Trump? And at the time, of course, he wasn't president yet. And they're arguing and they're back and forth and they're throwing the mud. And Clinton says to Trump, well, you didn't even pay taxes last year. Like she's trying to criticize him. And he comes back and he says, I didn't pay taxes. You're right. But that's not because I'm a crook. That's because I'm smart. And in effect, he's absolutely right. So, what did he do? Now, I'm not touting Trump. You love him, you hate him. That's up to you. It's not about the politics, it's about the facts. And the fact is that the wealthy, most of them, not all, but most, know that there's a lot built into the tax code that can make the IRS your friend. Are they secrets? Are we skating the code? Is there something illegal going on here? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Is it a life insurance play? No, it's not. I know there's a lot of that out there. I certainly don't mean to disparage any caring life insurance agents who have learned systems like the personal bank, the family bank, things like that. And those are great processes, but they're very specific. If they're done wrong, which I'd say well over 80% of the time they're done wrong, they're taught wrong, they can actually be dangerous and cause quite a bit of money to be wasted and lost. And the recipient will not receive the results that they were thinking that they would receive. So, no, this is not a life insurance play. It is actually part of the tax code that says, hey, here's what the IRS wants you to do and wants you to be a part of and wants you to invest in. And once you know that and you know how to structure around that, guess what? Therein lies the solution. And we will teach all of that in detail at the summit, not to the point of boredom where you're going to become a CPA, but to the point of understanding, so that when we go and grab you by the hand and implement and architect your own personal system for you, you're well aware of what's going on and what we're doing and why. So that's the initial part of the summit. Then beyond that, we'll talk about the proper legal structure. We'll have a wonderful, well vetted attorney, should I say, a longtime veteran attorney specializing in legal protection and legal structures. He will talk with us. That's going to be Scott McPherson. We're going to have industry titans there. And we're very privileged to say that the tax architecture, I'll be handling the financial architecture discussion. The tax architecture discussion will be handled by celebrity speaker and educator, author, CPA extraordinaire, Tom Wheelwright. So we're privileged to have Tom with us. He will take you through Tuesday afternoon, full on education on how to file taxes the right way, work with the IRS the way they want you to do it, so that you get the awards, the credits, the proper deductions, and then subsequently, which is really cool, subsequently, he'll show you how to get the IRS to fund your investments for you, not via a grant or a loan, through credits and deductions. You're going to be amazed. Tom's going to walk us through that. And in essence, a complete brain shift, which he hit me with years ago, which was how to make the IRS your friend. What? None of us would think that way, but believe me, I was the first one among you to be so shocked when I heard that. And then I learned how, because, I've spent my whole working life just not resenting paying taxes. Of course, there's a fair amount you should pay, but just resenting that I'd have to pay so much and not really be able to get ahead. So it was a complete paradigm shift for me back in the day. And I think you're going to go through the same paradigm shift and be just blown away by what Tom has to present. Then, additionally, from our industry titans that are coming, we have 4 different speakers that will enumerate tax savvy investments that the IRS loves and gives credit for. One of them will be domestic oil, and we are privileged to welcome Troy Eckerd from Eckerd Enterprises, domestic U.S. oil and minerals. Uh, this is going to be an amazing, amazing discussion, and Troy will actually be speaking on Monday, and then other speakers to follow. So stay tuned. We'll be continuing with a few more podcasts with guest hosts who will be speakers at the event or tell us about their speakers coming from their company. We look forward to covering that with you. And then, of course, my pride and joy at this event is twofold. I want to share this with you lastly. We're going to have a very special silent auction. Please, we welcome you from far and wide to be part of this. We're actually hosting this first year. The charity of choice is Unconditional Love Foundation. And Unconditional Love is a horse rescue. But does the buck stop there? No. They're actually building what's called the Hero Horse Program, which is going to be pairing a rescue horse with a veteran, a disabled veteran, and creating just a wonderful opportunity for healing, for learning, for networking, for paying it forward. And they're looking to build a very special ranch dedicated to this Hero Horse program. So we're very proud to support this. And we'll be hosting a silent auction Monday evening for the Hero Horse Initiative. Lastly, and this is my big excitement, my big pride and joy, is going to be Wednesday afternoon at the awards ceremony. We'll be doing the awards for the Pay It Forward contest. So everyone at the summit, all the business attendees, will be divided into 5 teams over the course of the summit. And each team will be secretly getting contracts and sales and subscriptions and marketing and all the things they can to benefit one winning disabled veteran business owner. And the disabled veteran has no idea that the contest participants are working for him in his business. It'll be a surprise. We're bringing to the stage on Wednesday afternoon, and all the efforts from all the teams will be presented. The winning team will be brought up on stage. And of course, all the efforts of our wonderful speakers and sponsors, and all will be presented to the business owner as the recipient of the Pay It Forward contest. So please be a part of that. We're welcoming you not only to learn, then to implement and change your business future, your wealth future, your tax future forever, but then subsequently, of course, is the wonderful networking with your fellow business owners and the feel good, the pay it forward that you'll get to be a part of. And of course, hopefully, the silent auction. We'll also be having a fun disco, some wonderful dinners and meals, and other entertainment at Pachanga. So we really look forward to hosting you. Please go to www.sonicboomsummit.com and grab your ticket before they're gone. If tickets are sold out, we do have a short reserve list that you can get on, or we can also reserve you for next year, but hopefully we'll see you this year. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Yvette Spillman, Registered Investment Advisor, signing off from NRI Wealth Architects. Catch you next time.